Good evening. Welcome to our digital webinar. And my name is Sergio Gomez. And tonight I'm going to take you through two parts. The first part is going to be through our LMS, our learning management system, which is Sala Digital, or as we know it, the platform. And the second part is our teacher's ebook, which is the teacher's best friend. So give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to screen share with you, so don't go anywhere while I swap over the screen. So, to access our platform, you go into our site Leirilivro, click in Sala Digital, and we're good to go. So how do we start? On the top right hand corner, you're going to see an icon with the teacher. So we're going to choose an avatar. And then we're going to create a class. And creating a class is very easy. So basically what we have to do, click on the green button. We're going to create a new class. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it 7C. We can give it a description, and it will automatically generate a code. You can copy this code and give it to your students, or if you place all their email addresses below in the box, it will automatically send an email with a link. All they have to do is click on the link, and they're right in Sala Digital. So the first part of Sala Digital is we have XO game. So we have a series of icons. First thing we're going to do, we're going to create a class. When we create a class, you have a classroom, and you can give information in this classroom. You can post information in the classroom. You can see students coming in and out of the classroom. So basically, this is your virtual classroom. Okay? On the right side, you have the feed, so you see all the activity that's happening. So we're going to start as good teachers, and we're going to give them homework. Okay? To give them homework, we're going to give the homework a title. I'm going to call it homework. I'm typing it quickly. To June. Okay? From there, we're going to determine if we're going to assess the homework or not. And after that, we're going to give them instructions. So we're going to ask them read and respond. Okay? From there, we're going to set a date when we want the homework done. We're also going to give them a time slot, so they should be home by, let's say, 6 o'clock. And I'm a good teacher. I'm going to give them 24 hours. And I'm going to give them a couple of hours after they come home the next class before they submit it. Okay, so we have a series of icons. We click on the icon. It takes us into the book we're using. I'm going to give you an example of Digi 7th Annual. Click on the app. In the app, you're going to have a whole list of exercises, and they're all the exercises in the student book. And I'm going to just select the exercises I want to send for homework. I selected them, click on the green box, and off the homework goes. Say I wanted to add other stuff besides what's in the student book. I can add audios, take it from the resource bank, or I can take my own notes from my own files. I can also send texts, and I can create links. So everything I want to do is right there accessible to me. Okay, from there, I can select who I'm going to send the homework, select the whole class, or I can just pick a few students, those that need extra help doing homework. So you choose whatever you want to. The option is there. Click on the green button, and there it is. You created a homework, okay? It appears on your list of homework. From there, we have a test generator, and it works along on the same lines as the homework, and you're going to create a test. Okay, so we're going to give it a name. I'll call it test 2nd June. Obviously, I'm going to assess it. From there, I'm going to create the rubric for the test so that I know. I'm going to give them the date when the test is going to be issued, time slot for the test, closing date. Obviously, I'll choose the same day and the closing hour. Okay, so we've created a test. So here's my test in my test bank. So in my test bank, I have all the tests I have created. So we're going to I'm going to choose a test, right? And before that, we're going to create a new test. So I'm going to take it step by step how you're going to create a new test. First of all, you have the test name. You're going to give them instructions. In this phase, you could import your school logo also into the test. And then on the right side, you have a whole aptitude of topologies you can choose from. True, false, multiple choice, a single choice, peer work association. You choose whatever type you want. So I'll give you an example. So I'm going to create a grammar. Well, it's a reading, more of a reading. But anyway, we'll call it whatever domain you want to put it. Okay, so we're going to give the instructions. Select the correct answer. Or the correct one. Sorry, type that one instead of answer. So we're going to put, here's an easy one. The world is round. So that's my first. Okay. Then my second option, I'm going to put, if the world is round, the world is, sorry, my typing skills are a little bit square. Yeah, slow. And from there, I'll put another one. The world, okay, is rectangle. Sorry about my typing skills, but anyway. So I've got 3 choices. Now I got to tell the system what is the correct answer, so they knows what to correct. So I'm going to identify the first one, the world is round. Okay, I'm going to save it. From here, I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to choose comprehension here. So I'll create comprehension. So it's writing. Choose a domain. From there, I'm going to allot a point system. I'm going to give instructions. Okay, talk about you. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Okay, so I'm saving it here. Okay, I created my test. Okay, so I'm going to save it again, confirm it, and there's my test. So I have my test here. I'm going to choose who I'm going to send it to. Obviously, I'm going to send it to the whole class, and there goes my test. Okay, here I can see the list of all the tests I put together. Okay, I sent it to Susanna. She's already done the test. I could see a progress of the test and all the work Susanna's done. In here, I can see a list of all the students in my class. I go back into the classroom and I can see all the activities. So you can see that I have already sent the test and I know that Susanna has sent me her test. So let's see how we see the platform on the student side. So I'm going to log out as a teacher and I'm going to log in as a student so you can see. So as you log in as a student, you can click in Sala Digital. You're going to go into your classroom, click in 7th A. Okay, that's where Susanna's at. And it opens our classroom. I look at all the work I've sent. I've sent Susanna the test, and I've sent some homework. Okay, so here's the homework first. So this is the digital exercise I chose. It's a drag and drop. So I'm going to draw my family, my daily routine, my chores, my free time activity. Then I'm going to click on the button right here. Yeah. And I go, 2 out of 4. So I'm going to go back and try it again till I get it right. So the system will allow me to do that. So we can take exercises directly from the student book, or we can take exercises from the workbook. Okay, so I go back. Okay, I sent a video. Let's see how that appears. So I'm going to watch the video, me, myself, and my life. I'm going to listen to the video. Okay, and from here, mom and dad, beautiful family. I'm going to do listening comprehension, or should I say video comprehension, based on the video. Check, and I got 3, 1 wrong. So obviously, as you can see, the system corrects it automatically. Okay, so what happens here? Here, if you had difficulty with the homework, you have a chat box, so I can tell the teacher, I had a hard time understanding the video, so that the teacher gets instant feedback. to understand what the student understood or didn't understand. So you have instant feedback coming back to the teacher. Okay, let's look at the test. The student goes in to does the test. Obviously, I'm giving them 23 minutes. I want to be a different teacher. So they're going to go in. The world is triangle. Okay, it's going to correct the system. Okay. And then I'm going to write my composition. Okay, my day was perfect. Okay, I'm going to finish the test. It's been sent back to my teacher. Okay, so I go back, and in the classroom, I see in the log that the test has been sent. So I'm going to log out now, and I'm going to log in as a teacher to see what happened. So I'm going to put my username, my password, so you can see how both sides of our learning platform work, the student side and the teacher side. And I'm going to go in, my classroom 7th A, click on 7th A. I see the log. I see Susanna's handed in her test. Very good. And she's also done her homework. I look at her homework. I see the answers. I see how many attempts, how long it took it to. And I can give her instant feedback and say, Susanna, you're having difficulty with reading comprehension. So I can take advantage and say, I'll send you some more exercise to practice. The same thing goes with the test. So I'm going to open the test. I'm going to see the test. I'll correct the grammar because it was the predefined. Obviously, I'm going to have to correct the composition. I'll insert the mark. It's going to validate for me. I can give comments also. I can say, wow, you had difficulty in that area. Maybe you should go back and relearn the present simple versus the present continuous, whatever the situation. So the student, not only does the teacher get instant feedback from the student, but the teacher's also giving them instant feedback. Okay, we go back, we validate, and it's off. So I've given instant feedback back to my student, and when she opens up in her side, she'll see that I've sent the test back with the mark and feedback based on that test. Okay, so we have my classes, we have the digital license. So the digital license is what the student gets at the beginning of the year. So it's what the government issues in terms of digital license. So it's the book in a flip format in which the student can watch the videos associated for aulas invertidas, or flipped classroom. And it also has the listening tasks, so they can do the listening exercise. So basically, it's the paper book in a digital format. Okay, from there, we have also the extra resource bank, so where we can get extra materials based on our projects, right? And we have our test bank, so all the tests we created, we can find here. So as we're creating tests, it will accumulate tests, right? We can use a wide range of topologies when creating the tests if we want to, or we can use just a simple word test and save it in our test generator. Okay, we also have our resource bank, and in our resource bank, we have PowerPoints, we have tests already pre-made, we have our lesson plans, we have solutions, we have audios, we have videos. It's all there. You can just pick and choose, and you can share it on your school platform, being it Moodle, being it Google Classroom, etc. Now it's going to bring us to the part I love the most, is the teacher's ebook. And if you go on to our site at Leirilivro or Digitais, you can download exactly what I'm going to show you. And don't leave. I'll be back in a couple of seconds, and it's going to open up my software. So we're all there. So what is this? This is our ebook, our teacher's ebook. And to use this, it's completely offline. When we say offline, you don't need internet. You don't have to share a bandwidth with teachers in the school. complete confident, and I say this is the teacher's best friend. It's the teacher assistant. This is like Wheels to Henry Ford ebook to teachers. So everything you have in the teacher's book is here. You can download it in your computer at home. You can download it in your school computer. All you need is a projector, a computer, and a wireless mouse. But if you do have an interactive board, we use the tools of the software. You don't even have to learn how to use the tools of your interactive board. Okay, so I'm going to open up the software. So I'm going to open it up here. So here's the whole book. So we're going to take a module, and I've chosen the 10th year book because I think it's amazing how this book has been put together. So we're going to start. So we have the flipped classroom video. So students will go home, aulas divertidas. They're going to watch the video before class. So when they come into class, they know what the teacher is going to talk about, freeing up teaching time for more communicative exercises, for peer work, giving the teachers more time to work with the students. So I'll click on the bubble. It tells you watch the video. So this is what he's going to do at home. He's going to watch that. So we're going to click on the video, and you're going to watch a little bit of the video here. Click on the video there, and here it is.
Life online. Okay, let's all agree that social media brings people together. Only, is that really true? I'm not 100% sure. In fact, I'd like to suggest that social media has its drawbacks as well as its advantages.
Okay, if we want to take off the subtitles, we'll click on this icon, and they will no longer see the subtitles.
Let me start by telling you a true story. I know it's true because it happened to me just last year. My family are
Okay, so the students watched the video. That was their homework. So when they come to class, we're going to start our lesson. We're going to do a reading lesson. So we're going to do a lead-in. And what we've tried to do is expose the students to as much listening practice as possible without having to do a listening lesson. So within a reading lesson, a grammar lesson, a writing lesson, you have lots of listening. So it's like having an assistant native teacher working with you in class. So if we click here, they can listen to it.
I use email, video chat, and text messages to keep in touch with my friends. My favorite...
Okay, so we have our text. Okay, from our text, they can listen to the text in the karaoke format. Okay, we can.
Best friend M. She's like a sister to me.
It's in a
We've been
karaoke
keeping
format.
in touch over the internet,
Okay,
though,
so we'll pause
and
it
it's
here.
been a lifesaver.
Okay,
We
what
phone,
happens
we
here
text, and we
is that
FaceTime each other day
the video,
and night.
okay,
It might not be as
so
good
we
as
can turn
face-to-face
into
contact,
a reading
but we
video.
chat about
So
everything.
what you saw here, we'll see here.
My social media social life.
From here, we can do the comprehension exercises. So we can check the words from here. So we did face-to-face. So it comes out defined. We can see the words contextualized here. We go back. We do the comprehension. We can do drag and drop here. If we click here, you'll see where the answer came. Okay, more reading comprehension. They can guess at the answer by clicking on the question. It will underline where the answer came from. Okay, match the words in bold with the text. So boring, we can look at it. Dull. Once again, we can click here and all the answers will appear. As I had mentioned before, completely offline, easy as 1, 2, 3. Go to the next exercise, answer the following questions. Here, Charlotte would prefer to speak English face-to-face. If we go back here, it's going to underline where we got the answer. So it brings us to the most important part, critical thinking. They're going to take what they've learned and they're going to take it one step above and bring it to themselves. So you can do suggested answer, They can listen.
I think seeing my friends face to face is better than using social media.
Okay, if you have to translate any word, translator, you can show them the position of the word. They can listen to the word. Okay, and now they're going to do a critical thinking. We can give them another example, and they can listen to this example.
I've got lots of online friends. Some of them, though, I've never met. Perhaps they are my friends' friends.
Okay, so that's how the rating spread goes. Let's go back. Let's look at the grammar spread there. Once again, flip classroom, aula invertida. They can watch the video. Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong button. And here's the video. So we have the grammar explanation. Okay.
Present simple. Affirmative. I write a blog in my free time. Sarah talks to her friends every day.
But you can show them, instead of the grammar, you can explain the explicit grammar. So you have either or here. Okay, from here, we're going to do comprehension. So they're going to look at, okay, I'm studying, is that the present simple or present continuous? So the student says, oh, that's the present continuous. Correct. Beats, present continuous. No, it's not. It's the present simple. And it will, you can do it that way, or you can just select all the answers right there. Next exercise, same thing here. They're going to have to choose in context between the present simple or present continuous. No. And if you click on the question, it will explain the rule on top. Okay, same here, same idea. I'm sure you'll all be able to get a gist of that. Okay, so we go one step forward, more comprehensive, more complex grammar questions. Same idea, click there, and they will see all the answers. Okay, so that brings us to the second part of the grammar. All there, we have exam tips. So brings us to the most important part where they're going to see the exam. Keyword sentence transformations. And like I had mentioned previously, they're not only doing the grammar exercises, but they're also going to listen to them.
Brian rarely uses video conferencing to contact his friends.
Okay, so they can understand the intonation when doing it. And to make class fun, we can do little grammar games. So we can play, there are retro games, so recycle the grammar here. Okay, we'll go to the next exercise. Now we're going to produce something. They're going to write about their daily routine using the grammar structures we've taught them. We can give them an example. And once again, if we play this right now, they will listen to it. So they're even in different lessons, they're constantly listening to a native speaker. So we finished our grammar lesson. We're going to go back. Same idea works with the vocabulary. They're going to practice vocabulary. They're going to associate vlogging. We'll try it here. If not, we'll put the correct answer. We can play a game based on the vocabulary we played. So facial expressions. Oh, vlogging. So it's all up to you. Okay, same exercise, same day. We're teaching them vocabulary. We're going to teach them to categorize. They're going to do it in their notebook. We're going to click here and ask them, okay, verbal communication. So what is it? No, I is non-contact. Video call would be verbal. Or if we want to just put up all the answers, we click on the top icon and all the answers appear. We go to the next exercise, same here. Which of ways of communications below you use the most? What for? Discuss with your partner. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're going to invert the exercise here. And we're going to continue here. Same idea, we're going to contextualize. And basically, they're going to answer, or you're going to simply put the answers one by one. Maximizing your time class and making it more dynamic, more engaging for the student, easy for the teacher. So basically, the teacher doesn't have to be constantly writing on the board with their back face to the class. When the square becomes dark gray, that means we've completed all the exercises on that page. So we'll go back, we'll do a listening exercise, very well structured. We'll give them tips to look out for when doing listening so they're ready when it comes to exam time. So it says read the statements A, B, find the key words, underline the key words right there. At the same time, read the text, pay attention to the underlined words, which speaker does it match? So we're going to guide them correctly through the speaking practice. From there, we're going to go back and they're going to have to associate who says what. Okay, so we'll say Simone, we'll try here. No, it's not Simone. So they will have done the listening right here.
Simone. 2 years ago, my English wasn't very good.
They will do the comprehension. You can show them the tape script if you want to. But when we're correcting, we don't have to listen to the whole listening. We click on the sound and it'll give us the excerpt where the answer came from. So looking forward, they didn't use looking forward in the listening, but saying was expecting to. So we're teaching that when you're doing a listening, they're not going to use exact words, but they're going to look for synonyms in this case. Okay, so you can listen to that.
I uploaded a few videos from my London experience, which you can see on my webpage. And I really can't wait for my next...
There, we're going to do comprehension based on the text there. So we're recycling. We're not only teaching them listening skills, but we're going back and we're teaching reading comprehension. Because with the Digitais series, it allows for flexibility. What does that mean? You don't have to do the book cover to cover. Obviously, you wouldn't have time to. But even if you choose one lesson, we're always careful that we go back and recycle other skills that might have appeared in another lesson. Okay, same idea here. You can select where you got the answer. Critical thinking, it's up to them. They're going to have to produce something. We always give them an example. They can listen to the example, so they're constantly listening to a native speaker speaking. Great box. We finished all the exercises on the page and we move on. Okay, so that's the listening. From there, we go into the intercultural competence. Okay, obviously, interculturalidad, ciudadanía. We're going to cross-check, and I'm going to focus on this lesson because it's something that's very important that's happening in our society today, especially with media. So I'm going to define what is multiculturalism. Right? So here, we're going to do a lead-in. I can give them suggestions. They can listen to my suggestions, right? So we're going to talk about multiculturalism, the difference in the way they dress, how they celebrate, etc. So students are aware. Any words you might not understand, you can go to the translator and translate them for them, okay? We go to the next. So we're going to look at the graph. We're going to talk about the graph a bit, okay? From here, we're going to do the listening, reading. So they're going to follow.
Currently, approximately 7...
And as you can see, it's in a karaoke format. From here, they can go and watch. If we look here, let me just go back here. And we can watch the video. So everything that's in the reading comprehension appears in the video with word sound association. So you're not doing the reading once, you're doing the reading, the listening, and then they're going to go back and they're going to do the reading association with the images. And at the same time, you've clicked on the important words in the text and they were able to see a picture associating with that word. They see the meaning as it appears in a dictionary and the contextualization. So everything you see in the video is exactly the reading text. So we've pasted the words, we associated to images and words, and the student is not only seeing the text once, but he will be seeing it several times, and so much easier for him to retain vocabulary. So as you saw the video, so the video is the comprehension directly. So you see all the words that appear in the comprehension, you see them appear in the video. Okay, so student is exposed to the comprehension, not only in one way through reading, but reading and listening, and in a third way through video. Okay, from here we do comprehension. We can go back, check these words. We click on the word.
Currently.
Like I mentioned, the image with the definition appears, etc. We can also do it through that way. So you have either way you choose. They're going to do word association, opposites, synonyms. They're going to continue here. We're going to teach them words that are similar within this contract. And this is very important because we deal with this today in Portugal. So they're going to learn about immigrate,
Immigrate.
immigrate,
Emigrate.
and migrate,
Migrate.
and migrate. As you can see, sounds similar. They're going to see how they're used in context differently and how they can be easily confused. Okay, from here, we're going to take a quote. I'm not going to let you, it talks about language and culture are the frameworks through which humans experience, communicate, and understand reality. So we're going to teach them inserts of quotes throughout the book to increase their cultural level. Okay, now it's up to them. They're going to do research online. They're going to collect information about ethnic groups in Portugal and how many people from other nationalities live in our country. So we're going to use that. So we've guided them step by step to doing this project. Now they're going to use their digital tools to help them put a project together. Okay, and that's basically what the intercultural competence deals with. And we go to the last spread I'm going to choose here is the writing. And I love the writing because the writing is structured in such a way that it will guide the student, making it so easy for the teacher and so much easier for the student to follow. So we're going to give them always a model. Okay, remember we taught present simple versus the present continuous. Even if you chose not to do that grammar lesson, it appears here. Okay, so we're not only giving them a model, but at the same time, we're recycling the grammar. So even if you taught the grammar, you can recycle it here. Or if you skip the grammar, you can present the grammar here through the writing lesson. From here, when we have a piece of writing, we always give them a writing bank so they can look and we'll say, when writing a friendly email letters, we use informal style. So we give them examples of informal styles, everyday vocabulary, colloquial expressions they should be using informal styles. We use phrasal verbs in informal styles and short verbs. So if we click here, everyday vocabulary, they can see it. The blue line, omission of pronouns, they can see it. So that when they're writing, they know exactly what they have to write and what is required in their writing. Okay, from here, we take it one step forward. So we're going to say, to avoid repetition, there's other ways of saying the same thing. So it was a great pleasure. Maybe we'll try, I was so happy. Or it is excellent. Instead of it is excellent, we can probably say it's fantastic. So we're learning, we're teaching them, we're increasing their lexical level. Okay, we take it one step forward and we're going to go back and recycle vocabulary. Vocabulary they saw in the model composition. So we talk about height. We'll review short and tall, which they should have learned. And we're going to talk about a medium height, which they saw in the text. And we go back and say it. So once again, it's like we're teaching how to write, but at the same time, we're within the same lesson, we're going back and we're teaching a vocabulary. That gives us the flexibility to be able to pick and choose the lessons we want to teach. Okay, same here. So we're talking about adjectives. If we correct here, all the answers appear. And we always give them exam tips. So what to be careful for when doing this. One very important thing that we have to teach our students, and that happens a lot, not only in English, but in other subjects, is students don't understand the rubrics. So we're very careful in our DigiUp series that the students are able to analyze the rubrics. So you have a rubric here. We're going to say, please, you have to read the rubric and understand it. So we're going to do rubric analysis. So what are you going to write? Who are you going to write about? Okay, I'm going to write an email to my pen friend about physical appearance, my personality. And if we click on the question mark, it will underline where I got the answer. How many words should your piece of writing be? And they are aware. So we're teaching them rubric analysis. So when they get to an exam situation, they know they have to read the rubric carefully, see if it's one part or two part, and make sure they answer the rubric appropriately in order for them to get the full marks. Okay, from there, they're ready to write their composition. But for them to write, we've given them a model. We have to give them a plan. Once again, we have the writing bank that appeared in the model, reminding them how to use everyday vocabulary, colloquial expressions, phrasal verbs, short verbs, and at the same time, I'm going to give them an example. This is my example.
Hi, Susie. It was fantastic to get your email. My name's Philippe, and I'm 16 years old. I live in Lisbon, in Portugal, with my mother, my stepdad, my brother.
Okay, so not only did you give an example, they listened to the example. So within a writing lesson, they're listening constantly to a native speaker besides yourself. So they're being acquainted and familiarized with different pronunciations at the same time, not just the pronunciation of the teacher. Okay, we finished that, and we have a cross-check to make sure that they have covered all the points. And basically, that's how the writing works. So much easier projecting this in front of your class while you're able to go along the desks and helping the students and not have to write all the time on the board with your backs faced to your students. And everyone can follow. Okay, so that takes us back, and I basically went through the general working of the model. We have our global citizens, okay, and I'm going to talk about global citizens because it's very important, because this book cross-checks aprendizagens essenciais and student profile and cidadania. So, global citizens teaches students how to work with the internet, how to research, and at the same time, we're giving them values. So, from what I've taught you up until now, or showed you, I should say, you'll be able to understand. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about interculturally. We're going to talk about empathy. We mentioned interculturalism and how we can be empathetic with different cultures. Okay, we can read.
Well, there are several ways.
Karaoke format, just like the other. Or the reading turns into a video.
I know how you feel. Showing empathy involves being able to recognize, understand, and share another person's point of view, thoughts, and feelings. Learning empathy, especially intercultural empathy, is an important life skill that everyone should try to develop. How can we do this? Well, there are several ways. Learn about other cultures. This is crucial for developing intercultural empathy. We can use books or the internet, but the best way is to talk directly to someone from another culture and ask them to share their knowledge and experiences with us.
Okay, from there, we have the comprehension, drag and drop, or we can select the answer, click on the question mark, the answer is justified. Okay, we can do listening here. We're going to give them different types of examples about schooling environment and empathy, how to deal with the different situations. They can listen to students that were involved in these situations, so they're practicing their listening skills at the same time. Now, how would you show empathy? What would you say in the situation? We can give them our example, okay? And then they can do peer work and they can do it themselves. Okay, so what has happened here? I have given them content. From this content, which cross-tags, But the student profile, aprendizagens essenciais, cidadania, I can take it one step forward and we can make a debate out of this. So I'm going to teach them what a debate is. Okay, and once again, I'll teach them the tips of the debates. What is a motion? Okay, so the various types of debates you can have. What is a main argument? What is a supporting argument? Okay, from there, we can look at different excerpts of main arguments and support arguments. They can listen to it.
From our point of view, social media can affect teens' self-esteem. For instance, there is a lot
And
of
from
online
here,
bullying and trolling on
they'll
social
say,
media.
This is well
This can make
presented.
teens
This is
lose their
support,
self-confidence
example, support.
and in
So we're
extreme
going to give them
cases can make them
examples
depressed.
beforehand. Okay, from there, we can go on, continue here. Now we're going to listen to presenting, supporting arguments. We're going to give them the flow that they need. And from here, they're going to present their debate. And we always give them an example. Okay, they can listen to it, teacher's example, and from here, the square is black, and they're ready to debate. Okay, and that is how the module works. The workbook, completely interactive. For every reading, grammar, vocabulary, listening, you have reinforcement. So you did grammar, present simple, present continuous. They can do reinforcement exercises. The beauty of this is they have the explanations in Portuguese for self-study at home. All done for them. And so, as I mentioned, for every grammar, reading, listening, you have reinforcement exercises which they can do at home. All digital. You get to the class, project the answers, and the student's correct. Students have difficulty, you have more time to deal with them on an individual basis, especially with large classrooms that we have. Okay, and that is basically what the workbook. We have the extensive reader. We've chosen The Man in the Iron Mask. Works the same. We take excerpts from the reading. Okay, we do comprehension. Click on the question mark. I'll understand. So we have pre and after reading activities, all in the adapted version of the reader. All digital. We go back home. We have games. So we've taken the content in the module and through a trivia game,
Red, the English language. Who used the phrase cold fish first? A. William Shakespeare. B. Miguel de Cervantes.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to test them on what they have learned. Okay, we go back, making classes so much more interesting. The teacher can participate in the game also. We have all the videos allocated. So we did types of arts. We have videos.
Types of art. Think art is only found in boring art galleries or on the walls of rich people's houses? Then think again, because art comes in lots of different forms, many of which we experience every day. Let's start with an art form that you might not think is art: architecture. Architecture is all about the design and construction, not just of buildings to live and work in, but buildings that can be admired. These works of art are all around you in your town or city and can be admired.
Okay, all there for you. Okay, from there, like I said, because this book allows for flexibility, say you decide to skip a grammar lesson, but further on you decide, no, maybe I have to reteach the present simple, present continuous. Rather than having to go to the beginning of the book, we put all the videos all in one section, and you can do order of say.
Order of adjectives. There was a lovely big white marble statue on display. It was amazing. I liked the old round medieval shield more. When there are two or more.
Okay, so for our DigiUp series, because it's based on formative assessment and summative assessment, Project Maya, so every time we do a lesson, we have a recommended formative assessment. We've created a whole bank of formative assessment tools, and most of which are digital. So take a look at the quiz, for example. So we did a reading. So we can do a quiz based on the grammar, which is present simple versus present continuous. Okay. You can, instead of taking it home and correcting yourself, which sometimes logistically it's almost impossible, you can say, okay, we're going to do a quiz, pass it to your colleague on the right. The colleague is going to correct. You put the answers and you get instant feedback. Okay. Or they correct their own quiz and give their own mark and give feedback to see if they understood or not. So we have all the two suggested tools. They're all digital, which we can project. Same with the tests. We've created tests. If you choose to use our tests in our writing bank, in our test bank, okay, you're doing comprehension. The test becomes interactive. When you're correcting the tests, they can see where they got the answers. Okay, same as a reading at the beginning. Okay, we go back, go home. We have listening tests, same thing, all there for you. You do the listening with them.
Welcome to the
correct it. When you correct it, correct, and they can see.
It's also
in the
called
excerpt,
digital art
they don't have
or
to listen to the
multimedia
whole
art.
listening again.
Andy
They can see where
Warhol
the
was an
answer
early
came.
pioneer of digital art in the form
Or
of
you
video.
can show them the tape script at the end so they understand where they got the answer. Okay, that's there for you to use also. We go home. Now speaking, it's important that we do speaking with our students, and for that we need speaking cards. So we've created digital speaking cards, and we know in terms of logistics, just can't ask the whole class to go outside while we're oraling two at a time. But we can teach them oral skills or oral practicing. We can project the flashcard on the board. We can guide them, right? And we'll pick two, and two will do one speaking exercise, and then we can change the image and choose another two. So within the class, they're doing speaking, and maybe we take advantage and the other students can peer assess their speaking. So we're linking both together, and it's all projected on the board. Can't get better than that. Fantastic. Okay, so we go back home and we have the word list, all the words that appear. You can see the words by module, by letter, by word search. And if there's certain words that they should learn, you can identify the words.
A piece of cake.
Paperclip. It's there for
Academic
them.
year.
They can see the translation. And
Academic
the
year.
word pronunciation. Okay, and we close that. So that is basically our teacher's ebook. So easy. Like I mentioned before, completely offline. You don't even have to bring a book to class. All you have to have is this in your computer. Everything that is in your teacher's book is in the software. Easy to follow. And even for those digital schools, all the student has to have is a flip book in front of them, and you're projecting the whole book in front of the class. Easy. So this makes teaching so much easier. And if we have to go back online, which hopefully that's not going to happen, it will be so much easier teaching on your platforms using this digital software because it's all done for you. As I mentioned before, it's the teacher's best friend, their partner in class. And you don't depend on the internet. Completely offline. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Well, that is basically how our ebook works. And what I showed you in the 10th anu applies to the 7th anu. And obviously, you can link exercises from the ebook to Sala Digital as I had shown you before. So, before I sign off, I'd like to say goodbye and thank you for assisting our webinar. I want to wish you a great weekend because tomorrow's a holiday, so we're going to thoroughly enjoy it. And if you want to download the sample I showed you, please go to www.digitup.pt or going to Leirilivro and download the software. Play with it. See how good it is. When you download it, when you open it, all you have to click is on Aplicação, and there's your software. What you saw with me right now is exactly what will appear on your computer. And it will make your life easier. You will have so much more time to do speaking in class, to do peer work activities, group work activities, all the things we normally don't have time to do in project work. All done for you. Pick and choose. No books. It's totally digital. And you're not dependent on anything unless the power of your computer goes off. That's it. And for me, I'd like to wish you, once again, a continuation of a weird and wacky year and a great year next year, teaching year. For me, goodbye.